Hey gang, it's Taki. Hope you're awesome. I'm just here in Port Macquarie right now. Looks like this. And I want to give a little update after what happened the other day. Told you about a couple of really awesome clients who joined us and who our team, our team and our systems and despite all of our best efforts, we screwed up and ended up losing these two clients. They asked to cancel, and if you saw the video, you know I was like just completely gutted by the whole thing. And somebody comes to you for help and your business is set up to help and you put heart and soul into it, you should just be able to help people. But hey, we all fuck up, and I told you about that. Oh, I haven't told you what happened because after I got over myself, there were three things I did. After I took responsibility for the fact that despite all of my wishes to the contrary, it's my business, it's my responsibility, my problem, right? So I reached out to them, and the 3 steps I had to reach out and to apologize and thank them for complaining and apologize and see if we can put it right. And then third, to work on the system to make sure it doesn't happen again. We haven't done 3 yet, but we've done 1 and 2, and I want to give you an update about that. Just before we do that, let me show you Port Macquarie is pretty gorgeous. Just beautiful down here. So I just ordered some takeaway Thai food, and in true takeaways spirit, while they make my takeaways, I figured I'd share some from the week with you. I think my stabilizer thing has gone a little bit gammy, but we'll see how this comes out. Just right now it feels a bit strange. Okay, so I reached out to these guys, 2 of them, and who'd both had just a really bad experience. And let me tell you what I did on the call that worked. And okay, my Osmo's gone completely haywire. Yeah, there we are. Okay, I'm not quite sure why it wants to go sideways. I'm just gonna hold it that way. We'll see if we can make that work. So long story short, here's what I do. So the call goes something like this. I'll give you the opening minute and then we can chat about it a little bit. If you have any comments, please feel free to ask. So Shane, I can see that you're on the line right now. Imagine it was you. I said, hey Shane, it's Taki here. Thank you so much for taking my call. I know that we've let you down, and if I were in your shoes, I'd be pretty upset about it. What I'd love to do today, if you're okay with it, is to do 3 things. Oops, what's going on with this gimbal? To do 3 things. Firstly, I'd love to hear everything that went wrong. Warts and all. Don't sugarcoat it. I want to know exactly what happened so I can hear it straight from you and apologize and hopefully be able to do my best to put it right. So that's first. Secondly, I'd love to have a chat with you. I know that you've asked to cancel, so I'd love to have to talk to you about you and your business and what you need most right now. So if this is the last conversation we ever have, at least we leave with you having a good taste in your mouth. Hopefully I can give you some direction and some strategy and point you in that direction. Even if we never do anything again, I'd like to at least kind of make sure that I feel like our last conversation was really useful and served you well. And then thirdly, let's talk about you and I, or you and us, and where we go from here. Is that okay? And my takeaway, I love these conversations. I find them emotionally extraordinary. I find them I feel very present the whole way through. I really enjoy not the challenge of it, but I really enjoy the kind of the realness and the humanity of it, the getting really clear about what happened to somebody and how we can fix it, So then we just do exactly that. It says, well, walk me through exactly what happened. And it's awful to hear rather. It's like eating a shit burger. It's just, so this happened, and then this didn't happen, and then you did this, and then it's just the worst thing in the world to hear. It's awful. But it happened, it's true, it's real, So you hear it all, and then you empathize. Like, how could you not? Somebody came to you for help and despite every intention to the contrary, it didn't work out for them. What is going on with my gimbal? By the way, that is not me attempting to spin it that way. That's hilarious. So you hear them out, and then you apologize, and then you hear them out, you empathize, because you can't not empathize. It's gut-wrenching to hear some of the fuck-ups that we make sometimes. And if you're honest about it, I'm sure you've done it too, right? And then thirdly, you apologize. Like, I'm just dreadfully sorry, and I'm totally embarrassed that happened. Like talking to these two people, it was just awful. And then you take responsibility for making it better. So like, thank you so much for having the courage to complain and tell me everything. I know it's kind of uncomfortable for you. I'm really glad you did, because if I don't know, then I want to make sure that this never happens to anybody else ever again. And when they feel heard and understood and empathized with, and you've apologized and taken responsibility, then the emotion gets out of the conversation, and now you can have a real conversation about what's going on for them. I want you to notice that what we do about us is the last piece of this whole conversation. And it's last because, frankly, your business is the least important thing right now. You got to put it right. And secondly, it's last because until the emotion is taken out of the situation, and until you've actually proven yourself useful, then you don't have the right to ask for somebody to stay, I reckon. So part one is you hear them, empathize, apologize, and you take responsibility for making it right. And then the secondly, you go, okay, when they've forgiven you and they're okay about it, and you'll know, then talk about part two. Let's talk about you and your situation, and I'd love to know kind of what's going on for you right now and what you need. Obviously they came to you for some kind of goal and they're not there yet, and so let's talk about that. And then you just be the coach, and you strategize, and you suggest, and you be as helpful and useful as you possibly can, and you give them your best. You don't tease, right? You just serve. And for me, if one of these calls, like let's say the call's an hour. I mean, I don't know how long it was. It was probably less, but let's call it an hour. Even if it's longer, who cares, right? There's probably like 10 or 15 minutes of part one, and then there's like half an hour of part two. Being useful, be the coach, help them, give them strategy and guidance. And when you give them strategy and guidance, it does a couple of things. It reinforces the value that you can bring, I'm sure. It helps, which is, about bloody time. You did what you're hired to do. And they start to, you get to balance the karma a little bit. So now you've been useful, right? And you give them a bunch of stuff to work on. And then so I did that with these guys. And so what's been most helpful? And they, thank you, this is really good. They feel really, really clear. Okay. So now you've also built some future, by fixing it or suggesting solutions. Now you've created a sense of possibility again for the relationship between the two of you guys, because now there's some stuff to work on. So then the third piece is, okay, so now let's talk about you and I. And I just get in kind of brainstorm mode. You know what, you're a really good person, and I'd love the chance to work with you and get you the results that you came for. And I'm really sorry it didn't work out, but here we are right now, and there's an opportunity maybe to do something together. And so if we were to work together, I've got some thoughts about maybe some things that we could do to make sure that it's amazing for you. But I'd like this to be a brainstorm together, and let's just kind of together figure out what we can do to make sure that you really, really, if we can, and if we can't, it's totally okay to kind of just wrap up and cancel. Or to maybe create something that's a little bit epic for you, and that we're both really excited about doing. And so this is, it's not just, okay, we're going to refund and start fresh, but let's refund and let's start fresh, and let's this and let's that and let's this, and you're going to suggest some stuff. I want to create it so that you and them are both, you both feel like, wow, this is a really generous way to tackle this. And in both of these two people's cases, I did some stuff that I wouldn't do for anybody. I just felt really bad about what happened, and I wanted to make, more than make good, And at the end, I said, okay, so listen, now that we've done this, I guess we've got a couple of options. We can cancel like we'd originally planned, or we can do this, or, obviously after I've suggested some stuff, I get them to give me some feedback about what we could add to it to make it better for them, even better. And I'm like, so, you know, on a scale from 1 to 10, how are you feeling about the possibility of working together right now? And I'd say, you know, because to me it feels like a 7. And I'd really love it to be like a 9 or a 10. And they're like, no, it's a 10, it's a 9. I'm like, okay, great. What could it be to be a 10 rather? Well, I'd really love to know this. I'm like, okay, great. And so we just brainstormed together and kind of co-created a solution that was good for them. And it does mean that over the next 90 days, I'm going to be working harder than I normally would with these guys. But I'm thrilled about it because it gives me a chance to get the people who came to us for the result. You know what I mean? Anyway, so a little bit of an update. At the end of the 2 conversations, both of them have agreed to give us another go, which I feel really, really grateful and really honoured, and really excited about serving 2 extraordinary people who've put their trust in me, and I just want to make sure we do an extraordinary job. So, you know, obviously the third thing to do is to you know, review it with the team and make sure that this doesn't happen again. But I think if you think about this heroic save process, it's like the first thing you got to do is own it. It's you. And there's always things that they could have done better, but like, frankly, dude, we're the business owner, right? Number 2 is to reach out. And, you know, when you reach out, we're going to do 3 things. We're going to hear them out, empathize, apologize, and take responsibility. And then secondly, we're going to get to working on their business or their situation and actually be the coach. And then thirdly, we're going to co-create a better solution so that they get the outcomes they're after, and they're more than excited about having another go with you. Does that make sense? All right, so listen, I'm here in Port Macquarie. Ordered some takeaway food. I've got to pick up some sushi, and then I think the Thai will probably be ready by now. So I'm going to say thanks for hanging with me today. I've really enjoyed. All right, team, let's call this episode of Takeaways done. I hope it's been helpful. Almost every situation is savable if you come at it with the right attitude, and the right attitude is responsibility and, yeah, frankly, an open heart. Cool? Anyway, big love. Talk to you soon.